And one thing we didn't tell you is Seth actually got RSV at 1 month old. He was exactly 1 month old.
If you break it up in some bad...
No! Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a little bit of a different video. I wanted to catch you up on the last couple months and some things that have happened around here that we haven't had a chance to share before. For us as vloggers, we try to do 3 videos a week. And because it's only 3 days a week, there's a lot of stuff that you guys don't hear about that gets missed. And the last couple of months have been kind of a wild ride, and we haven't shared it all. We also took a week off in that time just to catch our breaths and try to like get ahead a little bit for the new year. And so there's a lot of things we thought we could catch you up on today. Solo might join me for part of this, but he's watching the kids right now because I've been up in my room working. And so the first thing I want to show you is actually what we did in our master bedroom. I told you before we had the baby that we were wanting to remodel our master bedroom a little. It's the one main room that we live in a lot that we haven't touched since we moved in 3 years ago. And we had a few plans and they're coming together slowly but surely. It's not done, but I'm gonna show you progress. I hear a lot of noise downstairs. We did end up having our room painted, and I really wanted to try, this is the only room I've done it in, but I wanted to do white on white. So the woodwork we painted white, and we painted the same color white on the walls. And I really love it. I wasn't sure how I'd feel. Now the carpet is one thing we haven't taken care of yet. We're going to put in some like a wood look, a light wood look, I think. I haven't quite decided for sure, so that has yet to be done. But once we did it, of course the carpet is white and it's full of stains. It's kind of terrible, but when we did it, it seemed very bare walls, like a little hospital-ish feel with just the white on the white. So before I had not had anything on the walls, but I did have to go. I felt like I needed something, and I even have a couple of wood plank type shelves we haven't hung yet here that will help hold my cameras and things like that on it. But otherwise, I'm really liking it. It's still pretty simple, even with the things on the wall. I really like a minimal look, but not too minimal. And when we did the white on white, it was a little too minimal. So this is how it's looking now. My mom also got me that really dark color blanket on the end of my bed that she got it from Costco for my birthday. And it's huge and extremely warm, so it's a great option for winter, and it does bring a little more color, not color, but a little more contrast to the room. But I'm loving it. We got these 2 things at home, and it's looking pretty. We're really happy with how it turned out so far. I can't believe it took us that long to paint the room. But you know, we put it last on the list. The kids' rooms got done way before ours. I'm not sure if I showed you the fan before, but it was about the worst ceiling fan you've ever seen. So we found that one on a clearance sale, and we love it. It looks a lot better. The fans in this house were original to the house, which is 20 some years old now. While I'm on the house changes subject, I should tell you we finally got Destiny out of our closet, which was good timing because Seth will be there soon. So she is now sleeping with the little girls in their room, and it was a challenge for a minute. It took her a little time. We actually moved her into Belle and Tori's room for I think a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, and that helped her transition. They were happy to do that, and they helped her be able to transition to hearing noise more and sleeping through it. And so when we felt like she was ready, then we moved her in with Hope and Noelle. We have had a couple nights where everyone woke up because one of them woke up. But it hasn't been nearly as bad as we thought it might be. And now the closet is ready right here for Seth, and when he's ready, he's actually napping right now, right there. But he's still sleeping right next to me, which I like to keep that for as long as possible. He just turned 2 months, so we don't have much longer. Another renovation project we kind of moved forward in the last couple months is we finally changed out our main lighting. So I showed you our ceiling fan here in our master bedroom, and I did get a clip of our old lights. Like I said, they were original to the house. The dining room and the kitchenette area that we've removed the table from had to been switched as we bought the house, but it wasn't our choice. It wasn't something we picked out. They weren't able to sell the house. The lights were so bad. And so I think that was one factor that played into it. So right before we bought the house, they had switched it out to what was in the dining room and kitchenette. So I'll show you that little clip I got of the old lights, and then I'll show you what we replaced them with. We're really excited and happy, and kind of wish we had done it 3 years ago because it makes a huge difference. Another change we made was removing the couch from our piano room. It was actually poking a hole in the wall. It's an older couch and it was a cheap couch. So we have been looking for a couch to replace it for a long time, and I just couldn't decide between cheap and expensive because we have a lot of kids, so you don't want to spend too much money, but when you go cheap, having a lot of people using it can also ruin it a lot quicker. So it is really a hard decision. And I've been looking a lot on Facebook Marketplace. That's where we found our girls' bunk beds that we switched out, and they were a really good deal. And so I've been looking. I have a neighbor who loves Facebook Marketplace and she watches for me. Haven't been able to find anything I really like, and so we just decided to throw the couch away. And we moved because we put our table in the dining room, we got rid of the homeschool table we had in there. Then we decided to move our school shelves out into the piano room just to make more room in the dining room. And I really like the look with just the 2 chairs now. One of those chairs is quite broken, so we will probably replace the 2 chairs and put one of them in the girls' room and just put 2 new ones there. So now I'm looking for chairs, and that's a lot easier to find than couches. When we got rid of our school table, we actually put it in the basement and we weren't sure what to do. We weren't sure if we were gonna like the table there. And the school table is also a long dining room table, so we just kind of put it in the basement for the moment. 2 days later, Solo went to deliver some gifts that our church was giving a family for Christmas, and we had never met the family before. But when he was in the house, he noticed there were a lot of people and there was not a lot of seating. So he asked them, or there was a very small table. So he asked them, would you guys be able to use a long table? And they were very excited and very thankful. So we gave our table, or we are giving our table away to them. So it was like the Lord just set us up for that, because we moved the table out and a couple days later we figured out why we needed to get rid of that table. So that was a pretty cool thing that happened. And I am loving all the space in our kitchen area and the area that we live in the most without the big long table in there. It's so spacious, and we just have liked it a lot. So I'm not sure if we'll ever put a table back in there, but we'll see. We have some other ideas cooking. All right, so I just gave them an update of the house stuff that we've done in the last couple months.
You did what?
Yeah. We've done a lot of stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, now if we've done all the stuff that I wanted us to do, we'd have done even more. I keep coming up with new house plans.
I don't know where she thinks she get all this time from. We gotta create time.
Do you like my house plans? Man, guys, I have plans to add another bedroom upstairs.
Guys say no, enough.
And I'm making I'm making all this more square footage in our main floor. I've got, my mind is...
I don't know if that's...
It's like I've been bored or something. Anyway, what else has happened this last couple months?
It's year 2020 now.
Yep, we spent some time planning for what's coming.
Yeah.
We like to do that at the beginning of the year. So we look at every aspect. We look at church. We're pastors, so we look at church and kind of really plan. And we like to plan like breaking things down and simply. But I think we don't even use the beginning of the year only. I know,
actually, we try to consolidate and talk that week between Christmas and New Year. But we had some sickness this time around a little bit.
Oh, that's true.
Kind of slowed us down, and I think by the time the year was hitting, we weren't like as far into our planning as we would have hoped for.
It was hard. And one thing we didn't tell you is Seth actually got RSV at 1 month old. He was exactly 1 month old. And not only Seth, Destiny and Hope too, and Noelle maybe too, and I did too, I think. So it was just the 5 of us. But you know, sometimes that lands babies in the hospital. We had him in the doctor's office, and we were watching him really closely. We had to take shifts. Solo,
Staying up
Solo
night,
and I would have to take shifts all night because we couldn't like leave him and not observe him because it really affects their breathing. And he was born with a little narrow trachea. Anyway, so it was just, we were really on guard and watching him closely, but he got through it. He is such a trooper without having to be hospitalized, and
no antibiotics or anything like
no,
that.
no antibiotics. So it was, I mean, the Lord really watched over him. we were very thankful. So
it is weird though when they're that little. I knew of 2 different families during that same time that had RSV, and actually
they were
the babies ended up in
hospitalized.
a hospital.
Yep, and they were the same age as Seth too.
Yeah.
So we were very thankful that we got through that. It was just a few very intense days.
Look at this height differential.
I'm on a big
What's wrong
chair
with
and
this
he's in the rocking
situation?
chair. He didn't like that, I don't think. You want me to sing?
No, you can be tall. That's all right.
So, yep, so RSV, that was our first time having a little one with RSV. But I think it's the time of year that we had him too.
We've never had one at that time of the year either.
Yeah, so, and then I got mastitis twice. I didn't even tell you guys. I got it twice. It's a breast infection that you get when you're nursing. Sometimes it's like a clogged milk duct that gets infected. And I got it with my 5th, and then I had it with my 8th, 9th, and now twice with my 10th. So instead of taking antibiotics, I was trying sunflower lecithin.
Now, how is that twice when it was just the same prolonged thing?
No, it wasn't. I had it for the weekend, and then I had the fever and all the stuff, and then it was gone for a whole week.
Oh.
And then I got it the next, like, Monday or something. A week, more than a week later.
To me, it felt like you had it for 10 days.
I'm sure it felt like that. I was so sick I couldn't get out of bed. It was horrible. But with my 8th, I had caught it right away when I had it, and my neighbor had given me sunflower lecithin. Am I holding the camera crooked?
Yeah.
And so I tried it this time because I felt like the first time I caught it right away. So I tried that. I was taking like 3 horse pills or 4 a day, and it took care of it. So both times I was able to use that, and now I'm just taking that every day. Yeah. So I was able to get by without antibiotics. I was so happy about that. But at the same time, the second time I got it, the first day it hit was Tori's birthday, and he hurt his back all at the same time. So it was like, poor Tori. She was so awesome though. She's like, it's okay, no problem. She's like, can I play my Kindle? So she had a good day anyway, and we ended up making it up. You saw that vlog maybe, and we had fun, but we were kind of a mess for a hot second there. You feeling better though?
Yeah, feel great.
Yeah, yeah, we're doing good now. Everybody's pretty healthy. I sound a little stuffed, but we're all on the mend, and everybody's doing good. So yeah, that was kind of our crazy 2 months. And now we're looking at 2020, a new year.
Yeah, well, it's already old.
I know it's
2% of the year is already gone.
We had plans to make...
2% is used up.
We were going to tell you about some of the goals we're doing. You know, oh, I told you we planned for church, so we planned his business. We planned YouTube now. That's another thing we talk about and plan a little bit. Just maybe more like we look at overall changes we want to... Big picture. Yeah, the big picture of what direction we're going, and if there's tiny adjustments we can make, so that it's not like we're not like just becoming new people every year. Right. And then I noticed a lot of times we do a lot of our planning for our family and our goals that way more at our anniversary, which is in August. So we had made some plans at our anniversary and some goals that we just re-looked at this January and made sure we're still on the right track, and that's fun. You
know what's amazing? Sometimes the pastor is me comes out again. Well, the Bible teaches a principle of unity and that there is blessing when there's unity. And so one of the reasons why we do talk about it is just so that we are on the same page, not just mentally but also spiritually. And so I found this with couples many times when you share your goals. You might not even reach all your goals, but the fact that you're in unity, there's a blessing in the home that comes with it. And so, but it always amazes me when I look back, when you look back through the rear view mirror, if you would, and see how many of those goals and prayers and dreams get fulfilled. You don't always feel it like it when you're in the middle of it, but if you are to look back, you're like, oh, wow. You know, we prayed for that. We had set out to do this. We planned for that, and it all came to pass. So anyway, I don't know why I give a little.
That's
get
true.
A little teachy sometimes.
Yeah, and you know, we hear from a lot of couples that like are not on the same page financially, and I think one of the biggest things we like to tell people is one great way to get on the same page financially is to look at the big picture and see if your end goals are the same. And so if your end goals are the same, like for us, when we are looking at our goals, we're looking at what's our end result. And then we go backward and figure out how can we get to that result. And it helps you be a little more on the same page when you're working toward the same thing.
Exactly.
And so,
in fact, most of the fights that happen with financial, why are we talking about financial?
Because that's some of the goals we made this year.
Exactly. So, what I've seen over the years is that one of the biggest disagreements actually happen not in the big picture, but it's in the nitty-gritty and the everyday living. But if you can get yourself unified in the big picture and start, start with an end in sight, and then you work your way backward towards, and that alone sometimes can help a lot of couples and a lot of families.
Yes. So this year, some of one of our big goals is we have some big savings goals this year. So for us, we look at the big picture of what we want to save by the end, and then we're going backward, like by this quarter we want to have saved this much, and then by this quarter, so we break it down into smaller chunks, and it helps us just to stay focused and that kind of thing. And
small wins. I never underestimate the power of a win, big or small. So if you break it out into bite-sized
bite-sized pieces.
If you break it up into bite-sized, not that. If you break it up into some bite-sized pieces. Okay, let me say it again.
No, that's good. No, I'm not editing that out. That was too funny.
It's not going up. I'm gonna delete it. If you break it up in some
No. Okay, I think we all know he means bite-sized pieces.
If you break it up in some well, this is my third language, by the way. So bite-sized pieces, then you get to enjoy that adrenaline of small wins.
The what?
Adrenaline. Oh, I can't say that either.
Oh, you're making me laugh today.
Okay. You get to enjoy the energy that comes
adrenaline?
Adrenaline. Adrenaline.
Okay, sorry, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you.
It's awesome. I can't pronounce a thing today. That's not going up though.
Okay, yeah.
You get to enjoy the energy and the wind that comes with a win, and so
that's true.
So never underestimate the power of small wins.
Yes. Okay, well that's all I have to say today. Is that all you have to say?
I can't say anything, even if I try.
That's true. Just today. Anyway, we'll talk to you soon, guys.
See you guys.